The first thing I notice is that the street looks longer than it should. I've lived here long enough to know how far it runs, where it bends, where the houses stop. Tonight, the pavement stretches past the point where it's supposed to end. Fading into a darkness the streetlight doesn't quite reach. The clock says 2:14 when I check it. That's new. It never changes until it does. I tell myself that means I still have time. That maybe if I don't look out the window, nothing will happen at all. But the light turns on anyway, right on schedule, and the extra stretch of road doesn't disappear. I notice a figure standing farther down the street, just beyond where the light should stop. Not close enough to see clearly, not far enough to ignore. It isn't under the streetlight, and somehow that feels worse. At least shadows make sense there. I tap on the glass without thinking. The sound feels too loud in the quiet. The figure doesn't move. But a moment later, the streetlight flickers, and I realize the figure is closer than it was before. Not walking, just closer. I look away for a second. When I look back, it's standing directly beneath the light. This time, there are two shadows. Neither of them looks like mine. One is too wide, spreading out across the pavement like it's sinking into the street. The other is thin and broken, splitting apart at the edge as I try to step back from the window. But my reflection doesn't move. It just stares at me, a fraction of a second behind my own expression. The clock behind me clicks over to 2:17. The wider shadow lifts its head. Even though there's nothing there to lift, the thinner one stretches toward the building, reaching for something it can't quite touch. I can feel them noticing me in the same way you feel someone watching from a dark room. Then I hear a knock. Not on my door, on the glass. Slow, careful, like whoever is doing it knows I'm standing right there. I don't move, I don't breathe. The streetlight hums, the road stretches farther into the dark, and the knock comes again. When the light shuts off, the sound stops with it. When it comes back on, the street is empty. The extra road is gone. My reflection moves when I do. The clock reads 2:16. I stay away from the window after that, but I don't sleep, because I know when it turns 2:17, I'll hear the knock again.